Rachel with Bonnie. Today she and I are going to review Drop It and Leave It. I hear that since you've been gone, Bonnie's been a little distressed and chewing on anything she can get her mouth on at home. So I want to just do a Drop It and Leave It review for her, so hopefully the people watching Bonnie and house sitting in your house will be able to give Bonnie a drop it or leave it command, and hopefully she will listen to that. So, and just to review, it's been a while since we've done this. Drop it is for when she already has something in her mouth, and leave it is for when she's not supposed to touch it and get it in her mouth at all. You can use drop it for anything that she picks up, whether it's for her or not. So like if you're playing with Bonnie and using her toys to throw them for her, it's perfectly fine for you to tell her to drop it just so you can throw it again. Or if she picks up something around the house that she isn't supposed to have, you can tell her drop it to take it from her. Leave it, on the other hand, is just for things that Bonnie has no business touching and isn't supposed to have. So your shoe, maybe some human food that fell off the counter in the kitchen, or if you take her out on a walk, maybe she passes something that another dog left behind. You don't want her to touch that. So leave it means leave it forever and don't ever touch it. So with that being said, when you're feeding Bonnie, if she gets super excited, you want to have her sit and wait while you put her food bowl down. You don't want to put her food down and tell her to leave it, because leave it implies that she can't have it. You also don't want to tell her to leave her toys, because she is allowed to have her toys. They are hers. If she's just really going after it though, you can tell her to wait so that you can get down there and pick it up. So we're going to review the two today. So for drop it, a lot of times why a dog doesn't want to drop something is because they feel like you're trying to take it away. If there are other dogs around, a lot of times they feel the pressure of competition and they really want to hang on to it just so somebody else doesn't get it. I don't know if she feels competitive like that with Clyde. But if you are trying to pull something out of her mouth, it might be her natural instinct to really hang on to it. So what we do for drop it is we do a trade. So I take a treat and I tell her, Bonnie, I'll trade you this yummy treat for that toy in your mouth. And she has to open her mouth, which allows me to grab what's ever in it, so she can turn her head and accept the treat. So you hold the treat off to the side of her mouth like this. And there you go. There's a little taste, Bonnie. Oh, you dropped it. Okay, so I have some toys that I'm going to try to entice her with, and hopefully she'll clamp onto them and we can practice drop it. So here's the first toy. If I remember, Bonnie really likes this one. Oh, good girl. Get it, Bonnie. Get it, Bonbon. Okay, maybe I was wrong. She's not interested there. This one has a squeaker. You can resist the squeaky toy. You got it. Get it, good girl. Get it. Get that toy. You get that toy. Maybe. Come here, Bonnie. Okay, she's not going for this. So I'll leave these toys out to see if she becomes interested in them later on. Until then, we're going to work on leave it, because leave it is a lot easier to work on. So remember, you don't want to do leave it with things that are for Bonnie, like her toys. So I'm going to be using objects that definitely aren't dog toys, but if she does go for them and grab them anyway, they aren't going to hurt her. So first I have a roll of tape. Now, in order to really enforce this leave it, I'm going to keep her on the leash, so if she really decides to go for something, I can kind of pull her back. I'm going to get down on my knees so I'm more on her level. I'm going to put the object down, and as soon as she goes down to sniff it, I'm going to swipe my hand between her nose and the object and tell her to leave it. This will kind of break up her line of vision and distract her, so usually as dogs are going down, the hand waves in front, it gets them distracted, and they kind of do that. Now, After doing that, once she stops and kind of sits back and doesn't try to sniff it anymore, then that's when I praise her. So Bonnie, come here. Bonnie, sit. Good, sit, good girl. Leave it. Bonnie. Leave it. Good girl, good, leave it. Good girl, Bonnie. Good girl, good, leave it. Okay, no problem there. She went to it down all on her own, so this isn't very tempting. Next, I'm going to try this lint roller. Leave it, leave it, leave it, leave it. Good, leave it. Good girl, Bonnie. You can see there, oh, that's a good spot. She stopped trying to sniff it. She wasn't going for it anymore. Oh, good girl. Good girl, Bonnie. Leave it. Good, leave it. Good girl, Bonnie. Good girl. And she's not interested in it anymore. That's good. Okay. Now I'm going to move on to this dog brush, so it smells kind of like dog, so she might be more interested in this to really give it a good sniff. Leave it, leave it, leave it. Good, leave it, good girl. Good girl. I know I said I was going to hang on to the leash so that I could hold her back if I needed to, but Bonnie doesn't seem to be that combative today. Okay, next I have this collar. So this is a youth dog collar, so it smells like a dog. Also, it's a choke chain, like what she's wearing. So a lot of times dogs associate this with, you know, getting to go somewhere. Leave it, leave it, leave it. Good, leave it, Bonnie. Good girl. Good girl, leave it. Good girl. And she's not interested at all anymore. Leave it. Good, leave it. Good girl, Bonnie. Oh, she just had a little bit of pee squirt out on her, so I know you've been taking her to the vet. Hopefully that's getting resolved. It looks like she could feel that because she lifted up her leg to lick herself right as it started kind of squirting out there. But okay, we will continue with the leave it. So here I have a measuring cup that we use for the kibble for the boarding dogs. So it has bits of dog food particles on it, so it smells pretty good. So hopefully she'll be more interested in this. Leave it, leave it, leave it, leave it, leave it. Good, leave it. Good girl, Bonnie. Good girl, leave it. Good girl. She's just ignoring it altogether. Good, leave it, Bonnie. Good girl. Oh, that's another good spot. Good girl, Bonnie. Good girl. Okay, so she seems pretty good at leave it. So hopefully your house sitters will be able to tell her to leave it and distract her if she starts chewing up things and terrorizing the house again. Now, because she's not really interested in the toys and everything, she didn't drop it. I'm just going to kind of talk you through it. So when Bonnie has the toy in your mouth and she's not dropping it and you want her to spit it out right away, you hold the treat to the side of her mouth so she has to open her mouth and turn her head in order to get that treat. And in opening her mouth to get the treat, you are able to get whatever it is out of her mouth. And then you reward her for a good drop it. So hopefully that will help. And it's a good review. Bonnie definitely likes her treats, so I think that depending on treats for a little bit longer will help really cement the drop it command for her. Okay, she did a good job. This was Rachel and Bonnie, and we were doing a drop it and leave it review.